friends, welcome back to Tutors. Today we will be taking the second session of the lesson Chemical Reactions and Equations. So in the last session we stopped at how to balance a chemical reaction, chemical equation. So we will move on to that. So first of all, I will write an example of a chemical equation. Actually, we learned this equation in the last session. Zinc reacts with dilute acid, dilute hydrochloric acid and forms zinc chloride plus hydrogen gas. So now we will count the number of atoms in both LHS and RHS. In the left hand side we have one zinc atom. In the right hand side we have one zinc atom. So the number of zinc atoms is balanced. Now next one is hydrogen. Here on the left hand side we have one, but in the right hand side we have two hydrogen atoms. Similarly, in the left hand side we have one chlorine atom, but in the right hand side we have two. Hence, this equation does not obey the law of conservation of mass. That means, according to the law, mass can be neither be created nor be destroyed. But here, extra mass is created. That is, additionally one hydrogen atom and one chlorine atom is created. That cannot be possible. Hence, we should balance this equation in order to make the equation to obey the law of conservation of mass. So, we will move on to that. So now we will learn about the steps required for balancing a chemical equation. The first step is write the equation that you have to balance. So I am writing the equation. So I have written the equation. Now the second step is make a table containing 3 columns. The first column we have elements. Second column, number of atoms in LHS, that is left hand side. And the third column, number of atoms in RHS. The first element is zinc. We have one zinc atom on the left hand side and one zinc atom on the right hand side. So we have written the number of atoms in both LHS and RHS. So from this table we identify that the number of hydrogen and chlorine are not balanced. So we will try to balance that. So we have completed these two steps. The third step is consider a compound that has the most number of atoms. So in this reaction, we find that zinc chloride has the maximum number of atoms, that is 3 atoms. So we consider zinc chloride. Now from this compound, consider the element that has the maximum number of atoms. So we have zinc and chloride, but we notice that chlorine has the maximum number of atoms. So we selected chlorine. So we have to balance chlorine first. The fourth step is balance chlorine. Here we have 2 chlorine atoms. So we have to multiply the compound containing chlorine by 2. That is zinc plus 2 HCl gives chloride plus hydrogen. Now once again we count the number of atoms. Zinc 1, 1, hydrogen 2, 2, chlorine also 2, 2. Hence the equation is balanced. So this equation being a simple one, it's easy to balance. Now we will consider another example where we have to spend more steps to balance. We will move on to that. So we will consider this reaction. Here we have iron reacts with H2O to form Fe3O4 and hydrogen gas. So this is our first step, and as usual our second step. Draw the table, 3 columns, iron, hydrogen, oxygen. We have elements, then atoms in LHS, then atoms in RHS. We completed our second step. Now we'll move on to the third step. So the third step, we identify the compound containing maximum number of atoms. Here Fe3O4 has the maximum number of atoms. So we consider that. Now consider the element in this compound containing maximum number of atoms. That is, oxygen has the maximum number of atoms in this compound. So next we will be balancing the number of oxygen. Here we have 4 oxygen. Here we have only 1. So we will multiply the H2O with 4. That is our fourth step. Fe plus 4 H2O gives Fe3O4 plus H2. So once again, now we are counting the numbers. Here 1 iron, 3 iron, 8 hydrogen atom, 2 hydrogen atom, 4 oxygen, 4 oxygen. Here the number of oxygen is balanced, but number of hydrogen and iron are yet to be balanced. So we will balance them. So in the fifth step, we can either balance iron or hydrogen. So here I am balancing hydrogen. That is, here we have 8 hydrogen atom. Here we have only 2. So I am multiplying with 4. So number of oxygen and number of hydrogen are balanced. The sixth step, we will be balancing number of iron. Fe plus 4H2O gives Fe3O4 plus 4H2O. So multiplying this compound with 3 or 3. So this is our balanced chemical equation. The last step, we have to rewrite them once more. So this is our last step. I have rewritten the equation once more. By this step, our actual procedure of balancing a chemical equation is completed. But for making the equation more informative, let's add some more information to this equation. That is, in the eighth step, we can mention the state in which all these compounds are present. That is, here iron is present in the solid state. So I mentioned S meaning solid in a bracket down to that compound. 4H2O. Here in this reaction, water is present as steam, because only in that condition this reaction will take place. So steam is present in gaseous form. So G. Now Fe3O4 is present in solid state, and hydrogen gas, this is gas. So we have mentioned all the states of the compounds in this reaction. Furthermore, we can add the catalyst used in the reaction and the external condition. Usually we used to mention all those things above this arrow. So I will give some examples of equations containing all those information. Let's move on to that. Now consider this equation. Here carbon monoxide reacts with hydrogen and gives methanol. First of all, we have to balance this equation. So here we have one carbon atom, one oxygen, 2 hydrogen, here 4 hydrogen. So I am multiplying the number of hydrogen with 4. Hence this equation is balanced. Now I am mentioning the state. Here carbon monoxide is present in gaseous state. Hydrogen, it's gas, and methanol is a liquid. So I have mentioned the state. Next, I am representing the external condition here above this arrow. That is only at 340 atm pressure. 340 atm is the amount of pressure. Only at this quantity of pressure this reaction takes place. So I have mentioned the external condition above this arrow. Now another example is it's a familiar reaction. That is a reaction of photosynthesis. First of all I will write the reaction. CO2 plus water gives C6H12O6 plus O2 plus water. First of all we should balance it. So I am balancing it. 12, 6, okay, 6. 6 carbon, 12 is 2 and 12 is 2, 24 O2. So we have 6 plus 12, 18 plus 6, 24, and 24 hydrogen, 12 plus 12. Yes, the reaction is balanced. Next I have to mention the states of these compounds. That is present in aqueous state. It's a liquid and it is aqueous, and it is liquid. So aqueous state is that when a compound is made a solution in water, then it is known as aqueous state. So I have mentioned the states. Now we all know that the reaction photosynthesis takes place only in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So it's a necessary condition. So I am mentioning that condition above this arrow mark, that is sunlight and chlorophyll. So this is all about balancing chemical equations and how to write a chemical equation. So this is the end of this part. Now we will learn about what are the different types of chemical reactions.